What's good, YouTube? It's RPU here, and I'm back again with another video. And guys, FLR Finance has launched the testnet alpha phase of FLR drops on the Coston network. Decentralized applications on the FLR network undergo 3 development stages: Coston testnet, the Songbird network, and eventually FLR mainnet, as the future is multi-chain. One of the biggest benefits of Coston is the ability to test these dApps for bugs without the risk of losing real world value, which makes Songbird and FLR that much more special. Participation is key, and today I'm going to show you how to claim Spark tokens on the Coston network. Let's talk about it.
How do we do things to enable and add value? FLR Finance.
Okay guys, we got a jam-packed episode, so many things to talk about, but before we do, you should be following these people on Twitter. Follow FLR Finance on Twitter at FLR Finance, building a multi-chain DeFi economy from the creators of FLR Scan and DeFi Oracles. FLR Finance has over 106,000 followers on Twitter. Follow Thanasimos on Twitter at Thanasimos_FF. He is the project manager at FLR Finance. Thanasimos has over 600 followers on Twitter. Follow Flintstone on Twitter at Yabadabadona. He is the FLR Finance admin at help.flr.finance. Flintstone has over 1,800 followers on Twitter. Follow Bannock on Twitter at 0xBannock. He is the CEO at FLR Finance. He's a full stack developer, a designer, and at the end of the day, a human. Bannock has over 500 followers on Twitter. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at RPUReloaded so you can get my latest updates and retweets of things that I think are interesting in the crypto space. Thanasimos says, ever wanted to experiment with minting NFTs but didn't want to spend the money or time to learn? Come play with minting on FLR drops on Coston. FLR Finance says hashtag FLR drops Coston alpha is now open for testing. You can now mint NFTs without writing a single line of code for free on Coston. Ain't nothing like free. Come try it out to prepare for the launch of hashtag FLR drops on Songbird at FLR Networks, $XFi, $SFIN at Coston.drops.flr.finance. Let's go! Guys, FLR Drops will be the NFT marketplace of the FLR Finance platform. Those who hold DeLorean NFTs will have many benefits, including discounts across the new module, free bonus NFT drops that can be used and traded within the module, access to private NFT sales offered by exclusive artists on the new module, and the DeLorean NFTs are stakeable on the new module to access various yield opportunities. You know me, I'm trying to get the maximum amount of yield, the maximum amount of SFIN, and once FLR Finance goes multi-chain, the maximum amount of YFIN. So I may end up buying one of these. Now, the Loyalist collection started with an initial supply of 7,777 DeLorean NFTs, but after a token burn, it has decreased to only 5,400 in existence. Get them before they're gone at OpenSea and Rarible. Flintstone says, for a chance of winning 100 FLR, do not like or retweet this post. Just have a read of this article. Wow, 100 Spark tokens on the Coston Testnet just for reading? Count me in. Flare Finance says we have posted an updated article on how to get set up for the Coston Testnet. Please take a look, as this will be relevant very soon. So let's check it out, guys. From Flare Finance, Flare drops primer. How to connect to the Coston Testnet. Flare Finance's development cycle can be summarized in 3 steps: development on the Coston Testnet, staging on the Songbird network, and production on the Flare network. The Coston Testnet is a testbed for developers that want to develop and test the functionality of their applications without risking any real value. The Flare Drops NFT module is finishing final testing and is soon to be released for the community to begin testing some of the initial features on the Coston Testnet. Below, we provide some instructions for connecting to the Coston network. Bifrost and Decent wallets. Bifrost Wallet and Decent Wallet both have native support for the Coston Testnet, which makes it a simple process to activate. The process for both is quite similar. Step 1. Access the settings menu. Step 2. Select advanced. That part is for Bifrost only. Step 3. Toggle on developer mode and select enable. On Decent, toggle on enable testnet. And that's it. With developer mode enabled, you will now only be able to access the supported test networks within Bifrost. If you go back to your wallet, you will notice your main network tokens are no longer visible, and this is due to activating developer mode. To reactivate your main networks, simply toggle off developer mode. In Decent, they are still visible. Now, we need tokens to perform transactions and make purchases. C-Flare is the native token of the Coston Testnet, and WC-Flare is wrapped C-Flare. Step 4. With developer mode enabled, press the middle button on the dock and select Receive. On Decent, select the plus button. Select C-Flare and copy your address. Step 6. Using any browser, visit https://faucet.toalabs.com and paste your address. Step 7. Select Request C-Flare. C-Flare will now be sent from the faucet to your address. By the time you get back to your wallet, 100 C-Flare should be there waiting for you. You are now ready to connect to any dApps that are available on the Coston Testnet. C-Flare received. Okay guys, after reading the article, the process to connect to the Coston network was pretty straightforward. Let's jump into the Bifrost wallet and I will show you how I claimed 100 C-Flare. Now once you're in your Bifrost wallet, you're going to go to Settings, Advanced, and toggle on Developer Mode. Select Enable, and you are now connected to the Coston network. Let's go. Remember, when you are in developer mode, your mainnet tokens will not be visible. Don't panic. When you're ready to switch back, just go back into your settings and toggle off developer mode. As you can see, I have 100 C-Flare, but what you need to do is push the dock in the middle and then select Receive. Then you're going to select C-Flare. Copy your C-Flare address. Once you copy your C-Flare address, you're going to open your browser and go to faucet.toalabs.com. This is the official C-Flare faucet for the Coston Testnet. You're going to paste your C-Flare address into the box, and then you're going to push Request C-Flare. And that's it. By the time you reopen your wallet, you'll have 100 C-Flare in your Bifrost wallet. You can only claim 100 C-Flare one time per address every 24 hours. But that's it. Once you got your C-Flare, you're ready to interact with dApps on the Coston network.
Hey guys, this is Flare Drop Arc, Episode 1. Let's talk Flare Finance. This is the way. The Flare Drops Arc. Introducing NFTs. As we approach the release of Flare Drops for community testing on the Coston Testnet, we are releasing a short info series to provide some general insights into NFTs, as well as uses and features, some of which will be found within the Flare Drops module. The initial release of drops will be in a limited capacity with more features to be added as testing and developments progress. This info series will continue to provide updated information as development progresses. Intro to NFTs. NFTs have become popular within the world of digital art and collectibles. Digital artists are witnessing an increased demand for their work, and a large proportion of that is due to a blossoming crypto audience, as well as the benefits associated with blockchain technology enabling new opportunities of creation, such as generative art created via smart contracts. The core principles of Web3 enable both artists and collectors to access a decentralized market to which they can connect without permission, trust, or borders, transact with native payments, and retain ownership of their data. Digital art is one of many use cases for NFTs. They can be utilized to grant holders membership, to represent ownership of digital and physical items, certify the veracity of any unique asset, or grant permission to a certain stake, share, or function. What's in the name, NFT? NFT is an acronym for non-fungible token, which is an economic term used to describe things that are not readily interchangeable, as they have unique qualities that add or subtract value. Some examples of everyday non-fungible items would be things like your car, house, or even your dog. Attempting to swap these items for something similar is going to spark a serious debate between both parties to determine the value, and an exchange is likely not going to be agreed upon, or the intrinsic value just cannot be interchanged at all. Fungible items, on the other hand, can be interchanged easily for another similar item as they are defined by their value and not by their unique properties. A prime example of fungibility is money, where a $1 note is easily exchanged into 4 quarters or for another $1 note. No need to debate upon their value when exchanging. A combination of the above is possible, and this combination is known as a semi-fungible token. SFTs are particularly useful in the gaming industry, and the ERC 1155 standard was developed by blockchain game developers Engine. Games can contain fungible elements such as in-game currency, as well as non-fungible collectibles like skins and weapons. Game developers can utilize both types of tokens and ensure interoperability so gamers can readily trade items. Other uses for SFTs include concert tickets, store vouchers, and membership cards. How do they work? NFTs are digital tokens with a unique ID that allows them to be associated with particular on-chain addresses. They also contain comprehensive metadata for confirming ownership of any asset. A token standard defines the token's smart contract and its inherent features. There are many different standards on various blockchains, but the most widely used for NFTs are the ERC 721 and ERC 1155 standards developed for Ethereum, and as the Flare network utilizes the Ethereum virtual machine, these are the standards that will be associated with all NFTs on Flare Drops. Token standards. ERC20. ERC20 tokens are fungible tokens. They function like a regular cryptocurrency, but they are smart contract tokens which can be used as financial assets, utility assets, or currency. If linked to an NFT contract, these fungible tokens can represent a fraction of an artwork. It is also possible to mint ERC20 tokens that are backed by an ERC 721. The corresponding ERC20 can then be utilized within DeFi pools, automated market makers, and used as collateral. ERC 721. The ERC 721 standard creates non-fungible tokens for single items. This type of NFT has the ability to contain extensive information within the metadata. The main goal of the ERC 721 standard is to establish ownership. Another important function of this token standard is the ability to determine royalty payments associated with each resale of the NFT, since it can also record transaction history. ERC 1155. ERC 1155 is a universal token standard that is compatible with both fungible and non-fungible tokens, as well as being capable of representing both attributes in a semi-fungible fashion. It allows you to create and manage tokens of different standards in one transaction. The ability to transfer multiple items in a single transaction reduces network congestion and significantly reduces gas costs compared to creating multiple ERC 721 tokens. The ERC 1155 token standard can mint an infinite number of ERC 721 tokens. ERC 1155 allow for the creation of both semi-fungible and non-fungible tokens, whereas ERC 721 only permits the latter. ERC 1155 smart contracts support minting an infinite amount of tokens, whereas ERC 721 requires a new smart contract for each token type. ERC 1155 allows for batch transfers of tokens, which can reduce transaction costs and times. Sending multiple ERC 721 tokens needs to be performed individually. ERC 1155 token transfers can be reverted in case of a mistake due to safe transfer functions and other parameters in place to prevent exploitation. On the ERC 721 standard, you can't reclaim assets if they are incorrectly sent. Due to the above benefits, ERC 1155 is commonly used for collections of several similar NFTs. Our Samurai and DeLorean NFTs are an example of this. The possibilities with the token standards mentioned above are just the tip of the iceberg. There are also less known token standards that can be used to not only innovate within the field of digital art, but also across the broader landscape. With even more token standards in development, FLR Finance is aiming to push boundaries and explore new use cases. In future episodes, we will explore NFT use cases in more detail, and how FLR drops will unlock the full potential of NFTs on Songbird, FLR and other networks. Guys, in this short read, I've learned so much about Ethereum. And NFT royalties are an amazing feature that will allow you to continuously get paid even after the initial sale. Passive income from your NFT collection. Amazing. Bannock says, for people who would like a smooth introduction to the world of NFTs, what they are and how they work, FLR Finance is running a series of articles that you definitely should give a read. FLR Finance says, our second article in the FLR Drops arc provides information on NFT minting and collections. P.S. It might be time to refresh yourselves on how to use the Coston test network. $XFI, $SFIN. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, I'm back with another one. This is FLR Finance ARC Episode 2, Minting and Collections. The FLR Drops ARC, Episode 2, Minting and Collections. Traditionally, an art collection is an accumulation of artworks by an individual, or a public institution like a museum. Most art museums grew out of large private collections, formed by wealthy families, royalty, and aristocracy. Art supplies have also carried a high price tag, acting as a barrier to entry for potential artists. In today's digital world, art is abundant, and creating it is right at your fingertips. Armed with a stylus instead of a brush, or a camera phone and a keen eye, the potential to become an artist is literally within touching distance. The barrier to entry is your willingness to indulge in your creativity. In this info article, we will explore the different methods for placing that art into the digital world of NFTs. Collections. Nowadays, an NFT collection is more commonly associated with a series or a bundle of artworks released by an artist. Similar to a musician releasing an album of songs, a collection is a number of related artworks grouped into one album. Collections are essentially smart contracts that contain NFTs. When minting NFTs to a collection, the smart contract acts as a container, storing all of the artwork in one place, similar to files being stored in a folder on your computer. The minting methods discussed earlier for minting NFTs is essentially deciding upon which collection you would like to store your files in. For example, if you were minting an NFT on Super Rare, your NFT would be placed into a Super Rare collection with everyone else who has minted there. Going back to our folder and file analogy, this Super Rare collection is not a folder that you can alter, move or copy and paste. Creating your own collection allows full control and flexibility to alter, build around and move this folder to other chains. Minting. Minting is the term used for the publishing of a token to a blockchain via a smart contract. The smart contract contains metadata containing information such as NFT name and description, traits, the artist, royalties and a link to the hosted artwork, such as an image, music file, video game assets or even physical items. There are various ways in which an NFT can be minted and each option has its benefits and limitations. Custom minting. A custom minting contract allows you full control of what you want to create. It offers greater composability and flexibility over what you want to create with your smart contract. Creating your own smart contract and minting your own work is not a straightforward process though. Having a basic knowledge of the technology and associated terms in blockchain space is beneficial, but that's just a starting point. The process consists of writing a smart contract that can mint tokens on the blockchain, deploying the smart contract on the blockchain, verifying the source code on Etherscan, creating metadata files and uploading them to a decentralized file system together with the artwork, and linking the token, metadata and the art by minting the work on the blockchain. This tutorial from Ethereum shows the full process of creating a custom NFT. Marketplace contracts. Marketplaces such as Rarible, OpenSea, and Super Rare have shouldered the burden of creating custom contracts by offering a more generic in-house solution. Rarible, for example, allows you to create an assortment of artworks, but these are pretty limited in functionality, and the generic contract offered to all users doesn't grant individuality of collections as it's a shared contract. This simplified process may be welcomed by those just starting out, but after a while, artists may outgrow the limited smart contract functions available, relative to what can be achieved by creating your own contract. Knowing how to tailor a contract instead of using a one-size-fits-all approach will unlock the full potential of digital ownership, provenance and encourage innovation. Manifold. Manifold is a relatively new NFT service, which provides a feature-rich smart contract framework for artists to mint custom NFTs. Think of it as a WordPress for NFTs, where no coding experience is required. Users have near total control over the process of minting and authenticating the works they create. Manifold will allow anyone to mint NFTs, while retaining true ownership and provenance of their work. Manifold is aiming to integrate their contracts on many leading platforms next year. There will be a wide choice of Manifold contracts for your custom collections, and you'll be able to manage your contract from within Manifold or from within the platforms in which Manifold is integrated. So similar to a wallet address, your contract can remain independent, but be accessed from various interfaces. Lazy minting. When minting an NFT, a gas fee is required to mint the NFT onto the blockchain. On Ethereum, these fees can become expensive, especially if you have multiple NFTs to list and the sale price of your NFTs may not cover the minting costs. Lazy minting is the term used when an NFT is made available for purchase off-chain. Once it has been purchased, only then is it minted. Minting using this method means that the artist does not have to pay any upfront fees to mint an artwork, and the gas fees for minting can be included in the purchase. Allow lists. An NFT allow list or whitelist is a registry for wallet addresses which guarantees each person on the list will be able to mint a predetermined amount of NFTs during the initial release of an NFT collection. A certain amount of NFTs are usually reserved for an allow list, and the remainder becomes available when opened up for the public. Allow lists can be opened up for various reasons and can be a creative way of registering or rewarding interest. Entry can be offered to early participants into a project or for holding a particular NFT, completing tasks, competitions, etc. Once your address is registered on the allow list, you have a reserved period of time in which you have to mint. Generative art. Generative art is art which is created with the use of an algorithm that introduces randomness intentionally as part of the creation process. One may think this autonomy detracts from the finished piece, but generative artists also need to compose both the extent and the position of randomness that is applied to the artwork. This process is similar to that of an artist's initial sketching of their composition, requiring an element of skill and forethought to form a single piece of unique artwork. Alternatively, the generative process can be used to form a collection of unique artworks. This is achieved by utilizing multiple pieces of artwork which are applied randomly as layers onto a base template to generate a unique image. A popular use for this generative method is profile picture collections. Layers can be such things as items, apparel, facial features, colors, textures, and environments, which all apply distinguishing qualities or characteristics. Scarcity can also be achieved via limiting the amount of a particular attribute that can be generated, for instance, a collection of 1,000 faces where only 2% of the eyes attribute will be green. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the inner workings of NFTs in future articles. There are so many options and angles to approaching NFTs. I will need a detailed strategy when it comes to non-fungible tokens. Flare Finance says, with the successful launch of the Flare Drops Coston Alpha, we are returning to the Flare Drops arc with our third article, covering NFT sales and marketplaces. Come put your new knowledge into action on Coston, and prepare for Songbird launch. Okay guys, last one. This is Flare Finance Arc 3, How NFT Sales Work. Flare Finance Arc, Episode 3. How NFT Sales Work. Artists looking to sell their NFTs usually do so via digital marketplaces. A digital NFT marketplace is similar to that of eBay, where items are listed for sale. There are also many different methods via which an NFT can be bought or sold via an NFT marketplace. We will cover some of these methods in this article. Marketplace listings. Listing an NFT on one marketplace doesn't automatically list it on all marketplaces. As mentioned above, NFT marketplaces are like eBay for NFTs. An item listed for sale on eBay will not show up on Facebook's marketplace. The same applies to NFT marketplaces. Individual listing would be required for each marketplace, and an NFT will have its own bids on each marketplace. ERC 721 and ERC 1155 listings. Listings and offers for ERC 721 NFTs apply only to the individual NFT within the collection. To sell or purchase multiple ERC 721 NFTs within a collection, multiple listings, offers would need to be made. As the ERC 1155 NFT standard allows for the minting of multiple copies of the same NFT, listings and offers can be made in batches. This means an owner can list 20 copies of the same NFT in a single listing, and buyers can make an offer on 20 copies in a single offer. On Flare Drops, it is possible to partially fill a buy or sell order on ERC 1155 NFTs. This means a listing for 20 copies of an NFT could be filled by multiple buyers through a single listing. Owning your own collection/contract makes it easier for you to promote your work, as you can share your entire collection. It also allows you to assemble a certain style of artwork per collection. Owning your own collection will also allow integration within other marketplaces. Fixed price. The most common sale method for listing an NFT is by setting a fixed price. Pretty much self-explanatory. The owner specifies a price at which they want their artwork to be sold for. Offers. Collectors interested in a specific NFT or an edition of a collectible are able to submit offers to the owner, in the hope of purchasing the NFT at a desirable price. Auctions. Another popular method for selling NFTs is via auctions. Typically, auctions allow the owner to set an auction duration and minimum price. The NFT will be sold to the highest bidder at the end of the elapsed time. There are many different auction formats that we will cover in a future article. Floor price. The floor price refers to the lowest list price for an NFT within a specific collection. Similar to market cap, it is a metric widely used by collectors to evaluate an NFT collection. Floor bids. A floor bid is where a collector places an offer on an entire NFT collection. All of the owners of the NFTs contained in the collection will receive the floor bid offer, and they can decide whether to accept the bid or not individually. Royalties. What are royalties? NFT royalties are payments that compensate the original NFT creator for the use or sale of their NFT. Traditionally, royalties reward the creator a percentage of sales or profits. With NFTs, royalties are usually set by the artist during the minting process. How do royalties work? NFT royalties work similarly to traditional royalties. For example, a recording artist can have their contracts stipulate that they get paid a royalty percentage of each album sold. Or they may receive a royalty every time their song gets played on the radio. In either case, the artist is relying on the record company to fulfill the obligation. The old system excludes artists from ever benefiting from subsequent sales. Imagine an artist struggling to get by who sold a painting for a pittance, only to see it sell for millions of dollars in a Christie's auction a decade later. NFTs are disrupting the old system, and artists now have the ability to get their fair share of future sales. Royalties from NFTs give the original artist a percentage of the sale price every time the NFT is traded on a marketplace. Most NFT marketplaces allow the artist to set their royalty percentage, and the payments are automatic upon each subsequent sale in the secondary market. Marketplace royalties and fee structures. Many of the largest NFT marketplaces have implemented their own bespoke royalty payment solutions that are incompatible with other marketplace solutions. NFT marketplace smart contracts are varied by ecosystem and are not standardized. OpenSea transactions are on-chain, so there are gas fees for trading and minting. There is also a 2.5% marketplace fee for each trade. OpenSea allows creators to set their own royalty percentage up to 10%. Rarible transactions are on-chain, but creators have the option of minting for free, lazy minting. In this case, the buyer of the NFT pays the minting gas fee. Additionally, creators have the ability to set their royalty percentage up to 50%. Rarible takes a 2.5% fee from the buyer and 2.5% from the seller for each NFT transaction. Due to the differences in marketplace contracts, subsequent listings of an NFT on various marketplaces will require the setting of royalties for each individual marketplace. A standardized way to retrieve royalty payment information for NFTs has been developed. The EIP 2981 standard enables universal support for royalty payments across all NFT marketplaces and ecosystem participants. In a bid to provide ongoing support for artists, one would expect marketplaces to implement this royalty payment standard. NFT buyers should assess the royalty payment as a factor when making NFT purchasing decisions. FLR Drops Coston Alpha is now open for testing. You can find the platform here, and more information about getting set up on the Coston testnet can be found here. Finally, we're all caught up on FLR Finance ARCs. The many different options and functionality makes the possibilities and creativity endless. I'm really excited to have NFT royalties as another potential passive income stream. FLR Finance says, FLR Drops Coston Alpha has seen almost 1,500 unique NFTs minted to nearly 500 new collections in the 65 hours since the platform launched. We love seeing the community's creativity flourish on Drops. Did you try minting yours yet? At coston.drops.flr.finance. Don't forget on your way out to grab one of these decent biometric hardware wallets. The most secure in the game. If you use the homie link in the description, you will get $30 off. $100 off if you buy a 2-pack. That's plug. I'm Zoomer. Shout out to RPU, and remember, the future is multi-chain.